pleasure of watching and listening on STSPN.com, Glacier Peak Football, and Westco 3A High School football action. We want to welcome you, everyone from Mountlake Terrace, hopefully friends and family, are joining us tonight. Mountlake Terrace brings in some great players, actually. They're a little lean this year, not a lot of depth, but number one, want to look for him as you see the white jerseys with the red colors is Mountlake Terrace Hawks. Devontae Downs, John McClain. He is an absolute stud, having a little tougher year this year. Last year, that's 900 yards in 7 games. He led the league with 19 or 20 touchdowns.
But he doesn't have the line that he had last year, right? I mean, the Hawks come in with a young team, and especially that offensive line. So they haven't been able to open up the holes for him that he's used to having. The good thing about that is Devontae's a big guy, so we're not going to have the problem we had last week, right? Well, Glacier Peak.
Glacier Peak, our flagship school here at STSPN.com. Yes.
Because Giovanni Shepard. He's a little guy, right?
Yeah.
5'7", 145 pounds.
Right.
Okay. Devontae, he's 6'2", 215.
Yeah.
I think the GP defense is going to be able to find a target there. They just couldn't get a hold of Giovanni. I mean, he went through the line like, a grease pig through a bunch of 5-year-olds, right?
Much like, if you have any memory, the game against Oak Harbor, Brent Ryan, again, 6'2", 220 pounds, big kid. As we're 30-some seconds, Glacier Peak will be receiving the ball for kickoff tonight, so they're going to get their offense back and going. Last week had a tough week. Obviously, Meadowdale, a very, very good defense, but 6 drop balls. John McClain talked to Mark Bircher, the receivers coach for Glacier Peak, and he's like, I've never seen anything like it, especially Sean Elledge, Evan Nelson. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was one of those nights when everybody has a bad night. I mean, nobody could really catch that ball, and there were several catches, where the guys were receiving the ball, they knew they were going to get it, they weren't even going to get touched, they were thinking about what they were going to do next, and they dropped the ball.
Absolutely. Now on defense tonight, as you're going to see the starting defense from Mountlake Terrace for the Hawks, keep your eye, and we'll see him on offense. Jevin Pahanui, he is 6'4", 250 pounds, Mr. McClain, and he is just a baby. He is a sophomore.
But he's a beast.
He is a beast.
But then on the opposite end of that spectrum is his older brother.
That's right. His older brother, number 11, Pahanui.
Jason.
Jalen Pahanui.
Right, 5'10", 160-pound senior.
That's right. I joked in my article today that he was late to the dinner table in the Pahanui family.
I don't think he beats up on his little brother.
I don't think so. But speaking of Jalen Pahanui, he is the kicker. And here he is.
Oh,
it's short one. Evan Nelson picks it up at the 25, now running to the right. He's got somebody in his tail, and he cannot elude the tacklers, and they'll drive him all the way back to the 21 of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Mr. Bernard with the tackle, so 1st and 10 for Glacier Peak. Again, David Linney will start tonight, the senior. Had, again, John, off night for Mr. Linney, not the typical nights passing and rushing last week, and a lot of credit goes to Meadowdale.
Yeah, they just couldn't get off the dime. The Meadowdale defense was tremendous, so I don't think we're going to see that tonight.
Okay, right around. He's going to keep it to the right. Not going to really get much.
He was met in the backfield, but he still pushed that defender forward.
Jordan Raymore, the senior on the tackle, number 55 for the Hawks. So we'll bring up again, just 2nd and 10. We'll do it one more time. 11:30. Hope you're just joining us. STSPN.com. Hands it off. Quickridge to number 7.
Going long.
It's going deep down the field. The right alley is almost intercepted. Intended for Evan Nelson. We talked to the coach. That was Jalen Pahanui on the coverage. Almost had the pick. Coach Rowe told me tonight, John, he said, look for one of our first series. We're going to do some trick plays there.
Yeah, that was definitely trick, but number 7, who's that?
Dalton Pettis.
Yeah, he just didn't have a lot of mustard on that pass.
So 3rd down and 10, Lenny back to pass. Now going over the receiver, Josh May, made his cut and didn't know the ball was coming.
Yeah,
Incomplete.
the ball was in the air before he even turned and looked.
So again, not a great first series for Glacier Peak. 3 and out. Brings up 4th down and a rare punt for the Grizzlies. Back to receive the kick for the Hawks is Guerrero. Smedru gets off a good punt. Number 5 missed it. Did he touch it? Now he gets it.
Oh, and they're on him.
Stutter steps. He's got a lot of blue jerseys, and they bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Evan Nelson.
And Chris Guerrero was the return man for the Terrace Hawks.
Yeah, Evan Nelson was downfield early and was all over that.
So we get to see Bo Kennedy. This is his first year. That's the quarterback for the white jersey Mountlake Terrace. He's a senior, or excuse me, a junior, but he's 5'10", 180, but this is his first year, has some decent numbers coming in.
He looked in warm-ups like he had a good arm, but they don't throw the ball much.
So Mountlake Terrace starting at the 30, muffles a snap, now hands it off to Downs, who does get a couple of yards. See what they'll give him. Probably 3 yards. Brings up. Wow, they're going to give him more than that.
Yeah, that was generous.
Devontae Downs, number 1 in the backfield. If it's your first time seeing Mountlake Terrace, there he is a very good running back, great player. It's Kennedy, muffles a snap again. Are having trouble with the snap. Now takes it himself on the left side, and he'll get tackled for a loss.
Smedru got him.
Austin Smedru coming off a nice game last week. Defense played very well, especially in the second half last week against Meadowdale, but offense never quite got it going. So now that'll push him back to a 3rd and 8 on the 32. Hands off to Downs. He's tackled right at the line of scrimmage, and again, not sure what they'll give him for forward progress, but a good play by the Grizzlies.
So far, it looks like GP is dominating the line of scrimmage, though.
Sean Elledge in there. Smedruds again on the tackle. Defense been, again, outside of last week, John. They 2.8 yards on the ground. They've been a very good rushing defense outside of a couple games, Oak Harbor, Brent Ryan, and Josiah Miller. So they're going to punt. Nice punt. Looks like Trey Chambers on the reception there for the punt, and he runs just a few yards up to the 44-yard line.
Good for about 6.
So they'll start there on the GP 44-yard line. So that was a very quick series for Glacier Peak, a very quick series for Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, I think Devontae's big and he's fast, but he's not quick. Right? He's not going to turn corners on him, so I think we're going to have GP's going to have his number.
Alex Caribou now in the backfield getting some direction from Lenny. Here comes Elledge in motion. Now he fakes and hands off to Elledge on the near side. Crosses the mid-stripe. Got 2 tacklers. That is Devontae Downs. He misses those guys. He gets past the 30, still going. He tripped up finally around the Terrace 25-yard line.
He was shaking tacklers all over.
Unbelievable. Again, now that is the Sean Elledge we've been accustomed to see till last week, and that is 1st down and 10 at the 25 at Terrace. Lenny. Alex Caribou coming off an injury. Doesn't get much, maybe 1. Brought that down by Quentin Bernard. Number 80, the junior, 6'1", 170 on the Terrace line. Right back to action if you're new watching the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. No huddle, spread offense. Receivers sideline to sideline, fakes it. Now he gets it out to Elledge. He gets to the 20, makes one guy miss. Now he's wrapped down, but I think he'll be close. If not, yes, he'll get a first down. Put him down at the 12-yard line of Terrace.
I'm sure Tim's smiling and watching because the wrestler is out there just doing it for GP, right?
He is. That'll give Glacier Peak their second first down of this drive. 8:13 to go in the first quarter. No score. David Lenny. Now he rolls to the near side. Back to pass, has time, goes to targets. It's dropped. Good coverage by Devontae Downs, intended receiver.
Yeah, that was a rifle there.
Was Dalton Pittis. Again, Dalton Pittis getting some good playing time tonight on that near side receiver. Haven't seen him much this year.
Looked to me like there was some contact before the ball got there, too.
Could have been a flag. Pettis now on the near side. Lenny looking at 2nd and 10 from the 12 of Terrace. He hands off to Big Caribou. AK-47 rumbles through the line. Caught up by Isaiah Green for Terrace. Gain of 5.
Yeah, he's not the fastest runner, but he really bulls his way through. I think he is. These guys from Mountlake Terrace get tired. He's going to keep getting more and more yards.
3rd and 5 of the 8. Lenny on the option. Now takes himself, gets a seam, and he's in for a touchdown. First one of the evening. Welcome back to the touchdown. David Lenny, touchdown Glacier Peak.
I think this is the way this evening is going to go.
With 7:34 left in the first quarter, David Lenny, an 8-yard run into the end zone. Thought about pitching it, John.
No, he didn't. I don't think he thought about pitching it at all. Lenny gets out in the flat like that, turns the corner, sees a hole, and he's gone. I mean, he doesn't look back, and the kid is quick. Very fast. Extra point.
Corwin Branson on. It is good, as you see right there. So Glacier Peak again, 7:34 right in the first quarter. Second series of the game. They're up 7-0 over Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, Terrace is going to have to regroup.
As you see on your screen, the traditional push-ups by the Glacier Peak cheerleaders, John.
It's homecoming, too, and those girls are going to get a workout.
So Glacier Peak, a punt on their first series. Same thing with Terrace. Then they come back. Started at their own 44-yard line. 4 plays. And an 8-yard touchdown by David Lenny.
That's the way that Glacier Peak offense works. It strikes fast, and it's just nonstop, right? You don't get any relief either because they never huddle. It's, the defense is on trying to figure out what's going to go on. The coaches can't sub. It's fun to watch.
And Mountlake Terrace had a great conversation with Tony Umayam, the coach, the 8th-year coach. This is his 8th year at Mountlake Terrace, actually an alumni of Mountlake Terrace. Did some assistant work there and at Jackson High School. Really great guy. He's done a tremendous job. We see Corwin kick it off and deep for Terrace, takes it at the 5. Now he's running through, has a seam, still going. Gets all the way up to near the 40-yard line. Good carry there.
Yeah, he had good blocking setup.
That was Timmy Douglas on the tackle. Looked like 41. Anthony Callaway with the return. A good return by Terrace. Sorry, Todd Elvig giving us some instruction here. So they start at their own 40-yard line, hand it off to Downs over the left side. He meets a blue jersey head on and gets all the way down to the 46-yard line. Good run by Downs.
Yeah, he made him head on. He wasn't afraid to dish out a little punishment at the end of that run.
Senior Brandon Hershey got in his way for Glacier Peak, bringing up 2nd and a short 3.
You're only going to hit him high a couple of times, and then you're going to go after his legs.
Again, now that was kind of an I formation. They come up to the Ball with just Downs in the backfield. They're going to hand off him. He jukes left. He stretches forward for a first down past the midfield stripe into Glacier Peak territory at the 49.
They appear to be running off the left side every time. Who's on the left side of the line over there?
Well, I would imagine that's Jevin Pahanui, 6'4", 250-pound sophomore over on the left side.
That's who I'd want to be behind. I'd just grab onto his jersey and let him run.
So a first down for Mountlake Terrace, their first of the evening. 3 carries for 12 yards is Devontae Downs. Now they hand off to him on the left side, but he's taken down one shot at the line of scrimmage and scoots forward for a gain of 2.
Yeah, that.
Todd Helbig, executive producer, telling us Timmy Douglas, Rudy of the Grizzlies, had a senior dinner last night at his house. What'd they serve, Todd? So they gave him a couple yards to the 47, brings up 2nd and 8 at the GP 47. Hands off to Downs. He's hit by Smedrud, and also Marcus Hurd in on the tackle there. Just gets another yard or so.
Not much on that one. He needs to go further left.
Devontae Downs getting a lot of carries. 5 carries for 19 yards so far, getting most of the work. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 now. We've got one first down so far in this series. Downs the lone setback. Bo Kennedy, the quarterback, drops the snap. Did they recover it is the question. Looks like he did, but Bo Kennedy comes up with the ball, but that's going to leave him 4th at 6. What do you do here, John? Do you punt?
I'd go for it because I'm over the 50. But that's their 3rd muffed snap.
It is. We've got to see if we can get
We got the second string center in there or something?
I'm not sure, actually. I think, is Pahanui actually the center? 72? They are going to punt it. Pahanui to Pahanui. Maybe he's the long snapper. Bounces down near the GP 20. It'll roll around there as the player stops it. So that drive had a little promise. 4 plays, 1 first down, but ended up having to punt. Why do you think he punted?
I couldn't tell you, but I'm used to Glacier Peak offense, right? A 4th down is just another opportunity to score for GP.
Well, one thing Mountlake Terrace has to do is get some ball control, and that's not happening. 3 minutes on that drive.
Well, you can't run the same play 5 times in a row, right?
Well, it's difficult.
Eventually the defense is going to catch on.
So David Linney now in control, hands it off to Caribou on the right side, has a little bit of room, takes on one guy and makes him miss, and he'll have a gain of about 7. Jordan Raymer on the tackle for Mountlake Terrace. So a good pickup for Caribou, who's coming off an injury. He was a little slow last week, didn't have that burst.
It was his ankle, was that correct?
It was. 2nd and 3. Lenny now over to Elledge. Well played, but they shed the tackler. He sheds the tackler, and Devontae Downs has to come and rescue and nail him at the 28.
That's that problem with that high tackling, right? He took him up high, and all he did was bend over and just slough the guy off to the side. You can't tackle Elledge like that. Not the wrestler.
Not the wrestler. Oh, he's shedding tacklers like a... There's Lenny on the right side. He's got a seam. Now he goes to the outside. He's got Evan Nelson in front of blocking, and he gets a first down and much more all the way up to the 44-yard line.
So that time he did appear to look as if he may want to shuffle that ball off, but no doing.
3.
There was a lot of open field there.
So another 1st and 10 right on our beloved pole here in front of us. Liddy going deep down the right sideline. Evan Nelson grabs it at the 20. Makes one guy missing. Touchdown, Evan Nelson. Can you believe that? Reached up and grabbed it at the 23 and skirted the tackler into the end zone.
Yeah, you can tell Lenny has just a little more arm. He got that one out there nice.
Unbelievable. Evan Nelson is just a touchdown machine. I believe that is 7th or 8th. We don't have stats from last week. It was kind of quiet week in Glacier Peak after the Meadowdale game. We don't have stats. I think that's his 7th or 8th touchdown this season as Corwin is on for the extra point. Unbelievable play.
Yeah, I think after that game, the players were verbally motivated.
It is good by Branson Corwin with 3:15 left in the first quarter. Mr. McLean, it's 14-0. Oh, we have something. There's either a flag on the play. The officials are gathering.
I hope this isn't the same crew we had last week.
It looks like they're going to do it again. Not sure what the call is. You're seeing the scoreboard. They're actually going to kick the field goal again. We're not sure why, but Branson Corwin is ready to try again. We've got the camera on the cheerleaders. Now she's going over. So we'll try that one more time. It was only 13-0, and now it's 14-0 with 3:15 left in the first quarter. Thank you, Anna. Evan Nelson with already a nice little afternoon, evening effort here in the program.
You can look forward to him having a good evening.
Glacier Peak, John, 5 carries on the ground for 41 yards, over 8 yards a carry average, 4 for 6 on the passing, and they've already got 52, and that was a big part of it. I think that was a 52-yard pass right there to Evan Nelson.
Yeah, we will have exceeded our rushing yards from last week here in the first quarter, I bet. It's a totally different defense we're up against, or Glacier Peak is up against, I should say.
Absolutely. We want to make sure we welcome and thank again our great sponsors. Again, we have Chris Cuneo from Mongo's, who, again, we had an incredible dinner before the show for the broadcast. Also, Dynamic Diesel Service and Repair. You see all the great buttons right around your screen if you're watching us live. Nationwide warranty, reward cards, early bird, as we see. Now Lenny's going to kick it off for GP. Deep. Back Mason Stone gets it his end zone. He could not carry it out in high school football.
Yeah, he's got a great foot.
Well, apparently Lenny's got actual college talent as a kicker.
And he could be a backup quarterback.
Exactly. So he's got.
What you didn't know was Chris is not only a great chef, but he turns out to be a fine spotter as well.
He's a two-tool player. Not quite up to Todd Elvick, 5-tool player yet, but he's getting there. He is a tremendous chef as Mountlake Terrace now gets back to action, starting on their 20-yard line. Hands off to Downs up the middle. He'll get a couple, looks like.
I'm going to have to correct you, Scott. That was off the left side again.
Oh, that's off the left side.
Yeah, you could pretty much just line the defense up off that one side over there.
Neil Drewliner, the sophomore, getting a ton of playing time. Big-time starter for varsity here on the tackle. The nose guard having a great game as always. So 2nd down and 8 for Bo Kennedy as he's under center. Hands off again over the left side. Am I watching the Wolverines from Bellevue?
I don't know. It appears they don't have a real deep playlist.
Again, Drewliner, the Freightliner on the tackle. But you can see big number 72 there, Pahanui, on the line. He takes up a large part of the screen. Just a sophomore. And is he the center? I think he's the center.
The center.
So 3rd and 6 on the Terrace 24. Pitch now to Downs. Get him on the outside edge. He makes a couple guys miss and gets down close to the 28, 29-yard line.
That's what I'd do because it's going to take 2 people to bring him down.
Smeds on the tackle for Glacier Peak. 4th and 1, short one. You're on your side of the field. What do you do, Mr. McLean?
I go for it. High school ball, you're down by 2 touchdowns.
Minute 30 left in this first quarter of action here.
They're going to punt.
Jalen Pahanui back to punt. Sean Elledge deep to return with Trey Chambers. So deep, Chambers takes it at his 35. Now he gets caught up and taken down around the 41 of Glacier Peak.
That's strange. He's not looking to score. He's just looking to prevent Glacier Peak from scoring.
Well, that's a dangerous game, my friend, because it doesn't matter. You're giving them the ball. They got a minute 10. Doesn't matter, obviously, in the first quarter.
He's going to have to gamble to be in this game the way it's going.
Well, just Glacier Peak now starting their fourth series of the game. They're already 2 for 3 as far as touchdowns on the 2 previous series. David Linney at quarterback. AK-47 to his left. Now he rolls left. He's got an option again. He's going to run it up the seam, and he'll get 5 yards, 6 yards on the first down carry for Linney.
Yeah. What the coach from Terrace doesn't realize is that no matter where he gives Glacier Peak the ball, they can score from there.
2nd and 6 now. David Linney across, just a little low.
And behind. A rare bad pass from Linney.
Intended for Josh May, who got quite a few touches last week, the receiver. Homecoming, big crowd outside tonight.
Lots of blue and white.
Apparently the homecoming queen and king were announced on Monday at Glacier Peak. Here he's over to Elledge. Spins and eludes another tackler all the way down to the Mountlake Terrace 35-yard line. Jordan Raymar finally got him down.
Yeah, he's not easy to tackle. He spins, shakes, moves, dips, tucks. He's hard to hit, and after you hit him, he's hard to hold on to.
So Elledge, a big gain now as they hand off to Alex Caribou up the middle. He stands a Terrace player up, and he gets down to around the 30-yard line.
30 seconds.
24 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, Glacier Peak, if you're just joining us, up 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Caribou up the middle. 55 grabs him.
First down.
Jordan Raymore again. He's a busy guy, and that's a first down.
Looks like we don't stop the clock, huh?
Another first down for Glacier Peak.
Yep.
And that'll do it for the first quarter of action here. The Grizzlies up 14-0. You're watching and listening to Glacier Peak football and Wesco 3A action on STSPN.com. Scott Oshman joined along with John McClain here tonight. What's your big observation so far, Mr. McClain?
Well, Terrace has got 12 carries for 42 yards. Every single one is off tackle on the left-hand side. Oh, okay, maybe there were 2 that were outside of that, a sweep of some kind, but they've got maybe 1 or 2 plays.
Yeah.
That's not going to confuse any defenses.
You know, David Linney doing most of the damage on the ground with 30 yards unofficial stats through the first quarter. Also 6 for 9, having a very efficient evening, 67 yards for the first quarter.